All right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for your patience as we got everything set up. My name is Brendan Smith with Batdorf & Bronson Coffee Roasters. Today we're going to do a little brewing demo for you on the Chemex coffee maker, and we're going to introduce you to a few of our newest coffees. First, let me introduce my wife, Pamela, wearing her lovely St. Pete Coffee Tour shirt. What's up to my St. Pete Coffee Tour crew? Thanks for joining us today. Please like and share this stream. The more that you share it, the more that people know it's happening. Also, as a bonus, if you share the stream, you'll be entered into a drawing to win some coffee. So we're going to be giving away some of our organic Guatemala today. So if you want to win, share, comment, invite your friends to join us. Without further ado, we're going to get brewing. Also, if you have questions, Pam's going to be monitoring the chat, so ask your questions in there, and she'll send those over to me. If you have something you'd like to see another one of these done on, a brewing method, I've got all kinds of brewing methods in this kitchen. We've got our electric coffee brewer. This is a Technivorm Mocha Master. I've got a Clever Dripper, a Kalita Wave. I'm dropping things. What else do we have? We've got an AeroPress. So let us know what you would like to learn how to brew on, and we'll see if we can't set that up for another one. Okay, but today we're going to focus on the Chemex, and we're going to introduce some new coffees. By the way, if you go to batdorfcoffee.com, you can order freshly roasted coffee. We roast everything to order. That means that whatever you order during this broadcast will be roasted tomorrow morning and shipped to you tomorrow afternoon, which is great. If you purchase $30 or more, we're doing free shipping, which is awesome. These are 4 of our newest coffees that you can buy today. This is the Colombia Las Prisas. Brand new coffee, tasting notes of citrus, cocoa, and honey. This is one I've been really digging. It's sweet, it's light. It's kind of an all-day drinking coffee. It's got a good flavor that is pleasant all the way through with just that little bit of sweetness. Honey's a good note for that. Great coffee. We're also looking at our brand new Papua New Guinea Norikori, which we just started roasting on Monday. So Papua New Guinea coffees often have either kind of an earthy tone to them, or they have kind of a bright tone to them. This one, we're tasting lemon, we're tasting kind of a caramel sweetness, and we're tasting notes of cedar. So this has a lovely balanced flavor with kind of an exciting finish. I've also got our fully washed Burundi. Washed just means that water is used to separate the coffee cherry from the coffee bean, which is the seed. So this Burundi has tasting notes of tangerine, apricot, and hibiscus. Also one of my favorite coffees. Amazing on drip. Absolutely amazing. If you like a coffee that is interesting, it's not boring, right? You'll never drink this and go, I don't know, it's a cup of coffee. This is a coffee for you. It's a really, really good coffee. Really well balanced, kind of the medium roast on this one. And then our Guatemala El Volcan. This is a fair trade and organic Guatemala. This has been my everyday drinking coffee for the last 6 months. I love this coffee. Shout out to Slices Pizza in Melbourne. If you guys are watching, Slices is using this as their daily house coffee for their hot brewed coffee. It's an awesome coffee. Tasting notes are milk chocolate, caramel, and hazelnut. This is a kind of coffee that I could drink every day and never get tired of. Really, really good coffee. Also, shout out to our friend Koichi over in Austin. Koichi was kind enough when we were giving away coffee to folks who'd been furloughed or who'd lost employment. Koichi was kind enough to purchase 10 bags of the organic Guatemala to help with that effort, and we really appreciate that. So we're going to be giving away some of our coffee today. Again, to win, you just have to share. Everyone who shares will be entered to win. One of you will win a bag of coffee during this broadcast, and we will send it your way. Sound good? Great. Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk about the Chemex. Chemex is an American invention from the early 40s by a German-born American inventor. It's iconically American until the 1960s when Mr. Coffee kind of took everything over. Chemex was on many, many countertops. You'll find one in the Museum of Modern Art. It's beautiful. It's got this beautiful glass vessel that is both the brewer and the decanter with a wooden collar and this lovely leather tie. You can also get a version that just has a handle that you hold on to instead of the collar and tie, which is a little easier not to burn your finger on. But I think this one's more beautiful. This is the classic 8-cup Chemex. You can purchase this on batdorfcoffee.com. Pam will put a link in the comments for you if you want to purchase this. It's very, very inexpensive. You'll have to look to tell you, but I can tell you it's like $40. It's less than $50. Really inexpensive. Great brewer. We're also going to use a grinder. This is the Baratza Virtuoso, which is an upgrade from the one that I recommend for most home users, the Baratza Encore. Very inexpensive grinder. Works really, really well. The only difference between the Encore and the Virtuoso is this one costs about $100 more. It's got a little bit more cast nickel in it, a little bit faster motor. So it'll grind the coffee a hair faster, and the additional metal keeps it a little quieter. This one's a little spendy at $230. So I recommend for most people the Encore is perfect. It'll last forever. In fact, mine never broke, so I had to give it away to justify upgrading. So what we're going to do is start with the coffee. Freshly roasted coffee. Again, all our coffee is roasted to order. You can see that this coffee was roasted March 23rd, which was Monday. So that's perfect. You want to drink your coffee somewhere between 5 days and 3 weeks off roast, right? If you can consume the bag in that time, you'll have an optimal fresh coffee experience. Most grocery store coffee, doesn't hit the shelves until it's about 4 months old, right? Big chains sometimes put expiration dates of 8 months or more on a bag of coffee, and coffee is just a fresh agricultural product. It really is optimally consumed within a few weeks of the roast. So all this is really fresh. It's ideal. When you store it in your house, it's best to store it in an airtight containment. So I have a couple of examples. I've had this one for 15, 20 years. It's just a simple coffee canister with a little seal. Works really, really well. This is made by Fellow. This is a great little canister. It actually has an air valve here, so let me release that. And you can hear the air coming out of that. I can hear myself in the other room. Okay, so you can hear the air coming out of that. And what that means is that the seal was broken. So I can open this back up. When I want to close it, I just put it on top and I twist. And I twist the air out. And it creates a vacuum seal. Awesome little product. Okay, I'm also using a scale. This you can find actually stpetecoffeetour.com. Under our blog and how to brew, I've got links that include this scale. So if you want to go there, you can find this scale. This is the Hario scale. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh out my coffee. This is a fun little trick someone didn't tell me about, but I saw them do it. If you take the lid to the grinder, put it on the scale, it makes a great surface to weigh out your coffee. So I'm just going to tear the scale to 0. And I'm going to weigh out 25 grams of coffee. Yeah, 26. There we go. 25 grams of coffee. I want to grind it a little on the slightly coarser than drip side. So not as coarse as a French press, but a little coarser than your drip coffee. We'll talk a little bit about why. So let's grind that coffee. Okay, nice and quick. Next thing we need is a filter. So this is a Chemex filter. I like to point this out to people. It's a very thick filter. If I hold it up, you can't see my face. And the reason it's so thick is because there is nothing else stopping the coffee. Can you guys see? That's just an empty hole there, right? So the filter's thickness helps to suspend the coffee in the upper chamber. If you compare that to other pour-over methods, what happens is the coffee spends more time in the upper chamber in a Chemex than it would in, say, a Hario V60 or Kalita Wave or a Melita pour-over or any of those other ones. As a result, you tend to get something of a hybrid between a full immersion, like a French press, where the water and the coffee just sort of hang out together the whole time, and a pour-through like a V60, where you really only pour the water through the coffee at about the same rate it's exiting the coffee bed, okay? By grinding it a hair coarser, what we're doing is we're reducing the surface area of coffee, since the water spends more time in contact with the coffee. By doing that, we prevent over-extracting, because the more surface area, the more the water can pull out of that coffee. Now, if it's only going to be in contact with the coffee for a very short period of time, the most extreme example of that is espresso, right? 30 seconds at most we're spending in contact with the water in the coffee bed. So we grind it extremely fine to give it lots of fuel for that water to extract. If you were to leave espresso fine coffee in water and brew it like a French press, where it's full immersion and you hang out for 4 minutes instead of 30 seconds, what you would get would be a very over-extracted coffee. And over-extracted coffee is going to take on a very bitter, astringent, dry kind of taste, and you really, really don't want that. So here we're striking a little bit of a balance. So what you do with these filters, these are the pre-cut. Some of them come in a complete square. Some of them are pre-cut. Either way, 3 leaves to the front, 1 leaf to the back. The 3 leaves go towards the spout. Okay, and just stick that in there. I've got my kettle here. This is an electric kettle that I keep on my counter, but you can also get a stovetop pouring kettle. And I just want to pour some hot water in here to preheat everything and to wet the filter. They say that wetting the filter helps to remove any paper dust, and that may be true. I don't think it's a big deal, but I do think that preheating the vessel is a big deal. It also helps the filter stay in place a little better. This is my morning routine, honestly. We're taking a little more time walking through this, but for me, this is 5 minutes in the morning. Really, really simple. So I'm going to tare my scale to 0, pour my coffee in, flatten that bed, and grab my water. So 200 degrees or just off the boil is fine. If you boil it, pull it off. By the time you pour it, it should be fine. I'm going to set a timer just to keep track of everything. And I'm going to begin by pouring about 2 to 3 times as much water as I have coffee. So I had 25 grams of water. I'm going to pour somewhere between 50 and 75 on the scale. Basically, I'm just wetting all the coffee, but no more. What that's doing is that's allowing any trapped CO2, which is a byproduct of the roasting process, to escape before we put a lot of water into our brew. By doing that, we allow the water better access to the coffee to do a better extraction. If there's CO2 pockets and bubbles in the way, the water can't get to the coffee to do its job as easily. So that's the purpose of the bloom. Give it 30, 45 seconds at most, and then we're going to pour up to 300 grams. So I'm just pouring in a circular motion, really not disturbing the coffee bed too much. Pouring on the areas that are darker. This is why this method is better than most, if any, electric coffee brewers, because we can use our eyes to see which coffee has had less contact with water, and we can fix that. So now that's pouring through. I'm going to give it a little swirl. Just kind of coat it, give it a swirl. Okay, now I'm going to go for my second pour. Most of it's drained, not all of it. And I'm going to get all the way up to 400. My goal is to have the water in the vessel about 2 minutes into the brew. Give it one little swirl, both directions. The reason I'm swirling it is because, again, I just want to incorporate all the coffee and all the water to make sure everything is brewed consistently and evenly. When I use my electric coffee brewer, I actually take a spoon and I reach over and stir it up a little bit. So anything you can do to incorporate the coffee and the water a little bit more is going to help you to have a more consistent, more even brew. All right, let's put this back on. Let's grab a cup. Here we go. Batdorf and Bronson Diner mug, a good choice always. You can get that on batdorfcoffee.com. Don't forget to keep sharing. And then when we're done, the nice thing is you can serve right in this, right? You got a little heat-resistant pad, put it out on the breakfast table. It tastes delicious. If you can see, the coffee bed is completely level and even. What you don't want to see is you don't want to see coffee crawling up the side of your filter, because that means that that coffee didn't get the full brew time with the rest of the coffee. It should be one even kind of flat bed. I'm going to pinch that, put that aside, give it a little swirl just to incorporate the brew. Plus it's fun, you know? And pour a little coffee. Cheers. Oh, that's lovely. So this is our Columbia. It's sweet. It's a little tangy, but like in just such a subtle and pleasant way. It's got that kind of acidity that fresh citrus would have. It's got a honey sweetness to it. It's just really nice. So free shipping, $30 or more, batdorfcoffee.com. If you guys would go there now, check it out, see what you like. We've got light roasted. We've got a lovely dark roast program with French and Italian. If that's your thing, we've got origin coffees from Africa, South America, Central America, Indonesia, all over the world. And it is all the best high-quality coffee, specialty grade coffee, roasted fresh to order. Let me know in the comments what else you'd like to see, if you want to see a different brewing demo. If you have questions I didn't answer, please let me know what they are, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. If you like what you saw, please like and share the Batdorf and Bronson Coffee Roasters Florida page. You can also check out our main social media account at Batdorf and Bronson Coffee Roasters. And that's it. Do we have any questions or?
We do have a question from our watch party, actually.
Okay, what's our question?
Walt asked, well, first, what kind of coffee storage container was that again? What brand is it? And where do you buy one?
This is from a company called Fellow, Fellow, and this is called the Atmos. And Atmos, Atmos. Yeah, this is a great little thing. They also make the kettles. These are the Stag kettles. S-T-A-G-G, Stag. This is the Stag pouring kettle. It's got a little thermometer on the top, so you can put it on your stove. And then this one is electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. You put it on a little base, and you've got a little turning knob that you can dial in the exact temperature. It'll hold that temperature. It has a built-in timer. Really, really great kettle. I believe you can find, you have to check to see if they're on batdwarfcoffee.com. We do have coffee brewing accessories on the website, but if they're not there, just Google the name. Those are all by Fellow. The Baratza Encore grinder is definitely on our website, as is the Chemex coffee brewer. You can also pick up the filters. Remember, you need Chemex filters. Those come in a box of 100, very inexpensive. You can get those as well, I believe, on the site. We also, let me know if you guys are interested in seeing a little more about this. We have a single-serve steeped coffee option that is available now. It's available in Dancing Goats, which is our most popular blend, or decaf. If you travel, do hotel coffee, airline coffee, anything of the sort, coffee pods, consider this to be as convenient and about 10 times tastier. This is also completely compostable, environmentally friendly, really good option we have on our website. And this is also contact-free because each cup of coffee is an individually wrapped container, and it'll last quite a bit longer because it's actually ground and packaged in a low oxygen environment and nitrogen flushed, so it keeps it really fresh. So let me know what else you guys want to see. We will be back on pretty frequently in the coming days and weeks. Hopefully I'll be back to do another broadcast probably tomorrow afternoon. So tune in then. Thank you so much for liking and sharing. This video will stay up for a little while, so feel free to share it around. And I appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day.